Today's reading is for you if you are currently facing and trying to clear away undesired obligations from your past. I'm getting that these obligations have turned into burdens to you in a sense, and you haven't necessarily noticed this, but the emotions are coming up slowly for you to recognize, whether it's feeling very stressed out when you think about a certain person or a certain situation, or feeling weighed down by something that you have been desiring to provide to someone from your past. Now, with the Six of Cups here, I'm getting a strong sense of an older maternal figure and a younger energy, which is yours. Be sure to take this as it resonates. It doesn't have to be a maternal figure for you. It doesn't even have to be someone that identifies as a female or even a feminine energy for you. The sense I'm getting from the card is that this older energy, and also it doesn't have to be just one energy, it could be more than one energy for some of you. But this person, this older person, seems to be in a state of sadness and longing and having expectations that they desire to be fulfilled. And you seem to have grown out of the sort of rigid and limiting expectations that they had over you and possibly others as well. It's like you broke out and you accessed a level of your own maturity, but you did so in a way that made it easier for you to keep your heart and made it easier for you to keep your lightness as well. So even though you're more mature, you're still very connected to your inner child. Now, I'm getting the sense that you almost feel like you have to age backwards whenever you interact with this individual or these individuals. When I say aging backwards, I'm not referring to it in the sense of the fountain of youth, where you come into a more youthful and more radiant version of yourself, where you embody a version of yourself that brings you longevity. No, I'm speaking of a more youthful version of yourself, where you have to act like a version of yourself from the past. And so, in a sense, you feel like a big baby, but not in the sense of like feeling really giddy and happy and innocent, but more so in the sense of having limited choices and feeling this pattern of, it seems, having to fulfill the expectations of another, having to be devoted to the mental and emotional space of individuals who are older than yourself, individuals who are meant to be holding safe space for you. I think you get the picture. If you're resonating with this so far, it seems like you didn't necessarily used to have a problem with the idea of fulfilling the expectations eventually of this older individual. However, after months and years of energy clearing, inner work, of balancing your energy out and gaining an education on what constitutes a healthy energetic interaction for you and what constitutes an unhealthy one. You've also gained a lot of understanding about your patterns, your attachment patterns. And you're trying to completely clear out all of your insecure attachment patterns, but it seems like this relationship with these older individuals, these older parties, like it relies on those insecure attachment patterns and desires to re-energize those patterns, even as in those individuals might see you behaving in those patterns as the real you. They may see it as the real you when you are entering people-pleasing behaviors and when you are carrying other people's emotions and not really honoring your emotional needs and boundaries. Well, maybe honoring your emotional needs and boundaries when it comes to other factors, but not when it comes to them, those parties. So that is a common example or a common description of narcissistic upbringings. I am not here to make any diagnoses. I am not a licensed clinical therapist, nor am I a licensed healthcare provider. So please consult your trusted therapist and or healthcare providers about anything in the realm of diagnostics and treatment. Further, remember that these dysfunctional relationships tend to sit on a spectrum. And so some of you might notice that pattern, that relational pattern, much more strongly in your relationships with these individuals throughout the past. And some of you might notice only trace amounts of those patterns. But no matter how much of this energy was sprinkled into your upbringing, I'm seeing that at this time, you're feeling very unamused. You're feeling like you don't have the energy to hold space for that energy anymore. And the most you can give is the bare minimum, the bare necessities. But that from there on, you absolutely need to maintain your standard for connecting with you through higher energies. The next card to come out is the Eight of Swords. So far you have the Six of Cups and the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a card of restriction, of self-limiting beliefs and self-imposed limitations. Today it's talking about how you have restricted yourself from acting and from seeing something. But looking at the card today, I also feel that the cloth around your body is coming loose. It's coming undone. It doesn't feel as though you've cut it with the sword. So I'm not getting the sense that you've had any new massive tower moment. In fact, I feel that you came to the understanding about the toxic relational patterns and the codependent energy quite a long time ago. Somehow you came free from that situation, but in mental ways, internally, you haven't completely felt that freedom, the total self-reliance where you know that you can count on yourself, you can speak up for yourself, you can support yourself in every way necessary, and you feel secure and strong and confident. You haven't necessarily been embodying that part of yourself in its entirety regarding this situation, because if you had, you would already feel 100% free of that situation. You would feel 100% in control of that situation as well. Instead, and please don't take any offense to this, you still find yourself feeling like that situation controls you. It creates boundaries for you and limitations for you where you can't step out of. And you're very tired of that. So there are people still in that situation that you feel do need your help in some way. But it's not those older energies. Those older energies, it seems like they have some learning to do. And it seems like you're going to be using a firm and peaceful assertiveness to make it clear the new way of energy flow in that situation. I keep on getting like something in my throat. Every time I clear my throat, something comes back up. And so I feel like it's taking you a lot of courage to develop the ability to verbalize this. Maybe you've had trouble in the past with vocalizing things in an assertive way, but you've recently beginning practice with that, and you are about to be guided to use that sort of truth in that situation. I'm getting in that family situation, in that home and or group of relationships that we are discussing. In regards to the people who you feel could actually use your help, and that is your physical help. Like, you're expanding your power of discernment to include people who think they need help and people who actually need help. And among the people who actually need help, you are learning to distinguish the type of help that they are asking for and that they believe that they need versus the actual kind of help that they need. And you are learning how to provide this in a very generous but balanced and healthy way. It's like whoever you are, you came out of this situation from your past and cleared a higher path towards divine abundance and joy and higher love. And this has reactivated a certain pep in your step. It's given you a liveliness. And this is the healed version of your inner child that you enjoy embodying. And it's this very same healed version that is taking the lead and showing the way to this group of individuals, once they are ready, to access their own higher path towards divine abundance and joy and higher love. You're acting almost like a metaphysical self-work guide, a tour guide who helps people traverse the very rocky, abstract terrain of their own ego and their own emotional landscape. But at the same time, you're doing so with a lot of pep in your step, a lot of liveliness and encouragement, and you're not letting anybody's heaviness weigh you down anymore. Yeah, in general, it's like you're shaking off undesired responsibility and burdensome obligations to protect other people's emotions and energy for them. I see you practicing more interpersonal bravery. That being courage to honor your heart and your needs during person-to-person interactions. And this is unlocking this free-spirited adventurousness, this courage to do new things and go places you've never been, and to follow the wind wherever it blows. These are qualities that you have been desiring to nurture within yourself so that you can live a certain kind of life or experience certain things that you've wanted to experience. And finally, these qualities, they're ready to shine through, ready to take the foreground. Isn't it so lovely how whenever we pray for a quality within ourselves, or even if we don't know what qualities we need, but we pray for a certain experience or event in our lives, God begins to bring us the clarity and mold us into the versions of ourselves that we need to be able to embody and enjoy those circumstances. So, this has been a very powerful reading. If you are resonating with this, I am wishing you the love and the strength that you require to endure and thrive through this situation. For individual consultation with aligning any aspect of mind, body, or spirit, please see the link in the description box. Thank you so much for connecting with me here on this channel and for listening as long into this video as you have. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel guided to. Take care and happy aligning.